The other day I did a live stream with David that, well, it wasn't planned or anything. David wanted to do a live stream, and for those of you who watched it and remember, basically described a visualization that I do, that I've been doing since I was 17 years old, and I haven't got it from anywhere else. It's completely, all of it, 100% original from me. The night I had my spiritual awakening back in 1997 in Nonsuch Park in Epsom in Surrey. Nonsuch Park is a big ground. There's some history there. Henry VIII used to go there and stay there as like a sort of like a holiday home kind of thing. So the visualization that I've been doing started from that evening, because the girl and the visualization I'm going to share with you is basically me, what I saw, how I saw myself, how connected I was and with the roots. And that's why trees are a big feature in my life ever since that night. Before that I was drawing eyes, spirals and trees have always been a big feature. I've drawn them all the time. I was actually, I was drawing the eye, and I would put a world inside it, and with a heart as the pupil, and then I would put a triangle around it. I didn't know what I was drawing until 1998, when my friend came back from America and gave me a $1 bill. So I was looking at it, and then I saw this triangle on the eye at the top, and I was like, what's this? And he goes, oh, it's the Illuminati. My ears pricked up, and because also I was a year in of my spiritual awakening. There are also different types of awakenings. You can have, once you've had your spiritual awakening, you can have many more awakenings. For me, I still feel like I'm at the beginning, But that night was my first big spiritual awakening, because I realised the veils came down, and I realised, or I saw a tiny bit of what I am. I'll go into it another time, but I saw, I realised that we are more than just what we are told, and that we are actually living human beings. And so that was my spiritual awakening. A year later, when I saw the $1 bill, and then I took my picture, I was like, what the hell's going on? I had another awakening, but it was an awakening to the corruption of the world. It was an awakening to the truth of what's going on. That's when it started, and made the connections between the spiritual side. So you can have a spiritual awakening, you can have an awakening to the truth, come into spiritual awakening through an awakening of what's going on. Like, for instance, Q started maybe 3 years ago, and there was another mass awakening because of Q, and before that it was Occupy, St. Paul's, and all this thing. These are awakenings to the corruption. So right, where was I? So the eye. So I've been drawing this eye for a very long time, and then obviously I went down, found out about the Illuminati and all this stuff, and you start thinking, oh, it's an evil symbol. But I've been down many processes, because it is a process of awakening. It doesn't happen overnight, over a few years. It's gradual, just like the awakening of humanity. It's gradual. I've been watching it for years. It's real. So obviously I know now it's not evil symbol at all. The spirals, I've always drawn spirals. Everything's a spiral. I've got them tattooed all over my body. That was my first one I did. Yeah, I've got an Om there. David's got the same one. That's quite Maui, there's eyes in it. And then I've got my tree there, and my mushrooms, and lots of different eyes and suns. Anyway, so I wanted to share this meditation with you. After that I was drawing a lot of trees, and there's a specific tree I draw. I draw this tree like this because it's the tree that I sat under that night. The tree is my totem, and you can have anything as a totem in your life, anything you want. But the reason why the tree is my totem is not only because of the experience I had that night and I saw the magnitude of what trees are and what we are. It's a really good symbol because it's good to grow up to the sky galactically beyond anything. You know, up as far as you can go. Sky's the limit, you know. Beyond, there's no limit, basically. But it's okay to be up there, but you need to be grounded, don't you? You need to be like a tree and have your roots go deep into the earth, all around the earth, literally, you know, and latch on tight. So you're grounded, rooted. That's the darkness. That's the dark sides, you know, and growing up, you know. So that's a good totem. But you can have anything. So yeah, my Pacific little tree, I'll draw you. I draw him like this because this is the tree I sat under. And the lady with the arms like that, that was me. You see? That's my tree there. I always draw it like that. And the woman coming up like that, out the ground. There'd always be a hump, a grassy hump. And then she would come out. I know this is really rough, guys. I can draw, but... Right. This is me. This is what I was. This is what I am that night. Such an amazing night. My spiritual awakening. Obviously, because I had really long hair down to my ass. And there was no greys then. Well, I was 70. Do you see? Right? And then there'd be lines, spirally lines around here. But I will tell you my story of what I saw, what I felt. But I just wanted to share with you that this woman, the roots, me that night, were coming out of my feet and my body. But not just from that part. Never shared this with anyone. These roots, like veins, were coming out of me. They started growing out of my third eye here, and they would wrap around the body into the earth. I have a drawing of this, but I think it's in my book that Rosie's got, so, but I want to do a big one. So anyway, I know it's looking really messy, but these roots, like veins, are coming out of my body into the ground, right into the roots, right into the earth. Okay? And this tree is lit up like it's amazing what happened. But, you know, it's not like it's stopped. This is still happening, you know? But we just can't see it because of the frequencies. So, yeah. Sit there under this tree and the roots come out of your feet and go into the ground, and they grow slowly, slowly as roots do. Not just one big one, but shooting off all different little roots. Then you imagine the roots actually coming out of your body like veins, like I said, like my experience. Coming out of your body, wrapping around your body and going into the earth. So you're covered. Roots are covering you and you're rooted, grounded into the earth. Okay, so imagine that, visualize that. Now the roots just don't go a little bit deep, they go really deep. Visualize the roots going out of your area and across the world. Roots covering the entire expansion of the earth, going deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth as it wraps around. Okay? Imagine that. Now these roots are going through rivers of crystal and rivers of gold. They're wrapping and actually connecting to the crystal and to the root, to the rock. So these are almost like wires, like a giant computer. So as they're growing deeper and deeper and faster around the earth, they connect to the core, crystal core. Now it can be whatever you want. I normally visualize a huge sort of crystal, and I wrap my roots around this crystal. And while I'm doing this, I am pumping out this, I don't even want to say feeling, it's like I give love to the world, like it's protected, like I'm connected to it. And I pass this feeling and this visualization through the roots to the core, and then it reacts. And you've got this feed, this connection going on. Now above, as we come back out now, up towards the woman, it's you basically, right? And now these roots that are coming out of the body, at the top of the head, the third eye, there's a tree starts shooting out of the head, and the trunks grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and grow higher and higher and higher until it's literally covering the expansion of the earth, but from above, and you're looking down. And these branches can grow as tall as you want, but it's literally covering the earth like a shelter. And then you can put your attention back down, back through the trunk, through the trees, back through the roots, down to the earth, to the crystal core that's covering all the roots, covering the whole world from underground, connected to this crystal core. But from above, you're covering the earth like a copy of the inside. It's the same, covering, and you are connected and you are one. Like a giant computer. So basically I would just visualize that, but I would do it, in any way I can. Sometimes I would change it. I remember at one point I was having trouble covering China. It was like this, what the words, force, like they didn't want me to be there, or it was hard, but I covered it. But yeah, so you can really fine tune and feel, the slower you go the slower you go, the higher your vibration. That is so true. So the slower you go, the better. But you can visualize. Nothing is wrong when you visualize. You can do your own ones, But that's a really special one that I wanted to share. I don't do it every day, but I do it a lot. Anyway, see you guys. Thanks for spending the time with us.